He was a media favorite, and the famous studios had high hopes for him. Everyone predicted his incredible fame, even more than many other promising newcomers in Hollywood. But this glorious success ended in a precipitous fall, and the red carpet led to a rehab center. Carlos Estevez, better known as Charlie Sheen, is one of the most scandalized actors of the 90s. What happened to the career of this once popular actor, and did he have a chance to avoid oblivion? This is Truth Chronicles, and here we go. Carlos's career began thanks to his father, actor Martin Sheen. He was the one who took the young man to his first film shoots. There, the future star was able to experience all the ups and downs of the profession. Young Sheen was expected to have a sports career as a promising basketball player, so there was plenty to choose from. At the age of 9, Carlos made his debut in an episode of the television series The Execution of Private Slovak. The boy liked it so much that he began to experiment, shooting amateur short films with his father's camera. And in 1979, his father took him to the set of Francis Coppola's movie Apocalypse Now. Carlos Estevez used his own family connections as a major asset. He was happy to use the pseudonym of his father. How did Carlos become Charlie, you ask? The fact that Spanish name Carlos was used in the Estevez family to replace the English Charles. That is how he was often called and abbreviated, just Charlie. That is how our hero got his stage name, Charlie Sheen. Thanks to his famous father, the actor did not have to wait long for his first big role and to pester the studios. But there was a downside. The future actor had high expectations, and he had to work hard to prove himself among his colleagues. As we continue, write your favorite Charlie Sheen role in the comments below. Soon, he was offered a role in the film Red Dawn, where Charlie co-starred with Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey. You may not have heard of this movie, as it is not well known these days, but at the time of its release, Red Dawn grossed $38 million on an original budget of $4 million. Audiences loved the movie about the adventures of brave classmates during World War III. However, there were those who criticized the picture for primitivism and propaganda, and in some European countries, Red Dawn was even removed from the film distribution. But Sheen, as an actor, was paid attention.
You know, my dad said that once you do that, there's going to be something different about you.
At the time, Sheen was not known for his problems with alcohol and law enforcement, so he had a good reputation and was easy to work with. There was only one drawback. He was always bothering the other actors about how well he was acting. Charlie would turn to everyone after almost every scene he shot and ask them to analyze his acting. And even though Sheen quickly climbed the career ladder after Red Dawn, he considered not only leading roles but also episodic roles in some projects. Sometimes he wanted to. Sometimes friends asked. In 1985, he got the lead role in the crime drama The Boys Next Door, where Charlie portrayed one of the urban outsiders whose life is changed after a terrible crime. The movie was highly praised by critics, and the young actor was noticed by producers. Already the next year was a breakthrough in the career of Sheen. Participation as much as in 6 projects is listed on his account. Among them is the popular action movie The Wraith by Mike Marvin. In the movie, Charlie got the lead role, the avenging spirit named Jake, but his entire filming period did not last more than 2 weeks. He signed a contract on the condition that the shooting would last 2 weeks because that's how much time he had between other projects.
Lucky I came when I did.
Yeah, I noticed you got a knack for doing that.
Another common fact about this movie is that Johnny Depp claimed one of the roles there. However, in the filmography of Johnny at that time listed only a small role in A Nightmare on Elm Street, so he was a little-known actor, and the director refused his candidacy. And instead of Johnny Depp, Sheen was approved. Nevertheless, Depp, who at the time was dating actress Sherilyn Fenn, who played the female lead in The Wraith, spent a month with his companion on the set. He just hung out and talked to the team. The results of the movie turned out to be very inconspicuous, and it barely paid the box office, but it is rumored that it was a great success in its home release. The 1986 film, Lucas, was just as modestly released. The film is famous for the fact that Winona Ryder played her first role there, as well as for the scandalous allegations made by Corey Feldman in 2017. The fact is that the actor claimed that Charlie Sheen, as a 20-year-old young man, raped Corey Haim, a teenage actor who was only 14 years old at the time, during the filming of Lucas. The whole paradox lies in the fact that Corey Haim himself died of drug addiction in 2010, 7 years before the scandalous statements. Charlie Sheen, however, denied all accusations and even sued the press. In the end, the mother of Corey Haim came out in defense of Sheen. According to her, another actor, Dominic Brassia, was guilty of rape. Sheen was left alone and he won the case, but this is 2018, and in 1986, Sheen was still at the beginning of his career. The actor could still boast an unblemished reputation, but it was not for long. Another controversial choice is the comedy Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where the actor got a cameo role as a random guy at the police station. Well, yeah. At the end of the year, the movie Platoon by Oliver Stone caused a sensation. In a film about the Vietnam War, Charlie appeared in the image of a brave soldier, Chris Taylor. Initially, the role of Charlie Sheen was supposed to go to his brother Emilio Estevez, but the team was so long looking for financing for the picture that the project was postponed all the time. Estevez was at the height of his popularity at the time and was busy with other projects, so he eventually refused to participate in the movie. Stone began to choose other actors for the role of Private Chris Taylor, even offering it to Keanu Reeves, but he did not want to play it. And it was then that the role finally went to Sheen. Johnny Depp showed up in this movie. He got a small role. Note his helmet with the name of Sherilyn Fenn on it, who was Depp's girlfriend. By the way, Charlie had another interesting inscription on his helmet. "When I die, bury me upside down so the world can kiss my ass." And his wish almost came true when Sheen almost fell out of an open helicopter door during shoot. Only Keith David's quick reactions saved the actor.
You volunteered for this shit, man?
Believe that?
He was a crazy. Perhaps it was Platoon that became one of the factors in the young Sheen's addiction to drugs. For example, during one of the scenes in which half of the platoon smoked marijuana, the actors were actually smoking it. But this did not help them get into their roles, and they wasted a lot of filming time. They could not do their jobs in this state. In America, the movie not only paid off, it became box office hits. With a budget of $6 million, the movie grossed $138 million. In the ratings of the best films of the year, Platoon came in third behind Crocodile Dundee and Top Gun. The film was the winner of 4 Oscar nominations: Best Picture, Best Director, Best Sound, Best Editing, and won many other film awards. And despite the fact that Sheen's acting work in the movie was almost unnoticed, his salary increased 5 times in 1987 compared to the previous year, reaching $500,000. It was this movie that brought Charlie Sheen great popularity, even if the critics were rather reserved about his acting. After that, the actor had several unsuccessful projects. One of them almost ended badly for the actor, damaging Charlie's face and hearing. But the bad luck didn't last long. The success of Wall Street, directed by the same Oliver Stone, crossed it. After the triumph of Platoon, Stone became one of the most respected and sought-after directors in America. Everyone wanted a role in his movie. Tom Cruise, for example, begged Stone for a role in Wall Street and even offered to play for free, but Oliver Stone still did not approve his candidacy. Then the director explained that he almost never changes his initial choice. In this case, the choice fell on Charlie Sheen.
One day you're gonna be proud of me. You'll see. It's yourself you gotta be proud of, Huckleberry.
The filming of Wall Street was not without another scandal. This time, the conflict broke out between the actress Sean Young and the rest of the team. She quarreled the most with Charlie Sheen. One day, Young recommended that Sheen go somewhere to study acting or quit altogether so as not to spoil the professional atmosphere in Stone's new masterpiece. Sheen took revenge by penning a sheet with the name of the female genitalia on the actress's back. What's interesting is that she walked around with it all day and no one from the crew said anything to her. How this prank ended for Charlie Sheen is unknown. But later, the actor blamed everything on Young, saying that it was she who disrupted the process of filming because of her ambitions. By the way, Oliver Stone gave Charlie Sheen the chance to choose his own actor to play his father. He offered him 2 candidates, Jack Lemmon and Martin Sheen. Surprisingly, Charlie chose his real father for the role. A little later in an interview, the director said that from the beginning he wanted Martin Sheen to play the role of Carl Fox, but gave Charlie the right to choose because he did not know whether the latter would be comfortable to play in the shot with his own father. The director was aware that there were quarrels all the time and even fights in the Sheen family.
You serious in your kid? He's got your prick in his back pocket, but you're too blind to see it. No, what I see is a jealous old machinist who can't stand the fact that his sons become more successful than he had.
Wall Street was the first and last movie to win both the Oscar for Best Actor and the Golden Raspberry Anti-Prize for Worst Actor. Michael Douglas won the Best Actor award and Daryl Hannah won the Worst Actor award. The movie immediately became a legend in cinematography, although it was rather modest at the box office, grossing a respectable $45 million from the original $15 million. Michael Douglas's career skyrocketed. The same could not be said for Charlie Sheen's career. Nevertheless, the amount of his salary became more and more exorbitant. For his role in the Western Young Guns, actor received the Bronze Wrangler Award. It was the first award in the career of young Sheen. History is silent about Charlie's fee, but since the actor starred in the movie with his own brother, perhaps his appetites were a little more moderate. But in the next film, Major League, the actor has already earned $1 million.
Excuse me, Mr. Vaughn. Can I have your autograph?
Yeah, sure.
Hey.
My first autograph. Couldn't give these away a couple of weeks ago.
Around this time, after a string of successes, a turning point in Sheen's career came. Somewhere around here, it cracked, as well as his whole life did. It was widely believed that alcohol and illegal substances were to blame. Also, Sheen often got into trouble, and the headlines were always screaming about the scandals he found himself in. He was especially unlucky in his personal life. For example, his breakup with Kelly Preston, the future wife of John Travolta, was especially loud. Under the influence of alcohol, Sheen shot his girlfriend. But luckily, the bullet only hit the actress's hand. Of course, Charlie Sheen denied everything and justified the bullet in Preston's hand by the fact that she herself had stumbled upon the gun in his pants pocket. Cases like this led to lawsuits, which led to community service or rehabilitation. There have also been incidents with colleagues. For instance, the actor publicly offended Rihanna, who once refused to sit at the same table with him at a restaurant. Such a way of life, in part, led to the fact that in the 90s, every single success of the actor necessarily leveled a number of unsuccessful projects. And the 90s in the career of Sheen can be called a failure. Without a clear niche in the film, the actor jumped between action and comedy, trying to find something that shot. The most important projects were the movie The Rookie, directed by Clint Eastwood, and the comedy Hot Shots, in which Charlie had the leading role. The Rookie went almost unnoticed, but Hot Shots was a box office success, earning $181 million on a budget of $26 million.
What happened?
Plane crash.
I gotta work fast. I got a lunch.
I think you're missing the big picture here, Doc.
Nurse, check his penis. Is it longer than mine?
No, Doctor.
Good. Now this is gonna hurt. Ah! Nurse, give me 15 cc's of morphine, quickly.
You think you can save him?
Can't be sure. Not a very good doctor.
The Disney adventure film The Three Musketeers also hit Sheen's career, on which great hopes were placed. But the movie did not live up to them, failing at the box office, and the studio buried the idea of shooting a sequel. Deadfall, released the same year as The Three Musketeers, was another flop, not only for Sheen but also for Nicolas Cage. The movie was strongly criticized, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it a score of 0. Well, to not miss our new videos, click on the bell and subscribe. We try to please you with interesting stories. Then Charlie's career went downhill. One after another, the world saw movies of dubious quality with the actress' participation. In 1994, the world saw the box office failure of movie The Chase, followed by the American action film Terminal Velocity. Charlie Sheen was approved for the lead role in the latter after a number of other actors turned it down. Michael Douglas, Tom Cruise, and Bruce Willis were among them. Despite the fact that for his participation in Terminal Velocity, the actor received his largest fee, which amounted to $6 million, the picture did not pay off and received negative reviews from critics. For example, Roger Ebert called the plot absurd. Despite the total failure of the film with both audiences and critics, Charlie Sheen himself claimed that it was one of the best projects of his life. The budget of the movie was $50 million, which was an impressive sum at that time. For example, at the same time, an action movie, Speed, with Keanu Reeves was released, which cost its creators only $30 million. After this movie, not only Charlie Sheen's career ruined, but also his colleague Nastasia Kinski. Quite promising, as it seemed then, in the 90s actress. However, the fate of Charlie Sheen was a little better than that of Kinski, because he had a trump card up his sleeve, a signed contract with Disney. After Duran Serafian's failed action movie, Sheen had 5 more projects waiting for him, and he jumped right into one of them. The political thriller Shadow Conspiracy. The movie's failure was one of the most scandalous of the year.
And eating apple pie. And making love like a missionary. And sailing that yacht of yours around the Chesapeake.
I tell you, Bobby.
It only managed to gross $3 million on a $45 million budget. After that, director and screenwriter George Cosmatos, who had brought us such films as Cobra and Rambo First Blood Part 2, left the profession for good. After Shadow Conspiracy, Charlie Sheen's career went down quickly and steadily. The same sad fate awaited David Twohy's The Arrival and Discovery Mars. The latter went straight to DVD. The last project Sheen had already signed on to was Under Pressure. It was filmed for a penny and was not even shown in cinemas. It was immediately released on DVD.
6 chambers. One bullet. Where shall we begin? you, sir.
Despite the fact that Charlie Sheen was constantly drinking, he had a sober understanding his career was hanging by a thread. And in order to avoid a complete collapse, he was constantly looking for ways to film in order to somehow stay afloat. For example, he desperately begged Frank Darabont to take him on for the role in The Shawshank Redemption, even offering money for his participation in the project, but the director still refused. The next film with the actor, Money Talks, also failed. Charlie, after the failure of Money Talks, almost did not appear on the screens and went to conquer the video stores. The constant scandals surrounding Charlie's use of illegal substances added fuel to the fire. Perhaps that would have been the end, if not many people's favorite sitcom of the 2000s, 2.5 Men. In 2003, Charlie Sheen was approved for the lead role in the series, a bachelor and ladies' man, Charlie Harper. This opportunity immediately revived interest in the actor. In addition, the actor tried to get better, and at the beginning of the millennium, he went to rehab.
What's going on with you?
Well, Alan, there's not much to say. I make a lot of money for doing very little work. I sleep with beautiful women who don't ask about my feelings. I drive a Jag, I live at the beach, and sometimes in the middle of the day, for no reason at all, I like to make myself a big pitcher of margaritas and take a nap out on the sun deck.
Sheen became the highest paid actor in television at the time, earning $2 million per episode. And for his performance, Charlie received several television awards and 2 nominations for the Golden Globe. But happiness did not last long. The actor's problems with drugs prevented him long enjoy fame and huge royalties. Sheen managed to last 8 years, and in 2011 he was asked to leave the project, despite the fact that the sitcom's ratings were through the roof. The official version of why Sheen was fired was his debauchery, his irresponsible attitude to the filming process, his constant swearing, and his scandals with his superiors. It is rumored that the drunkenness was somehow tolerated, but not the insults to his bosses. However, it was believed that there was another reason, a stronger one, for which Sheen could have been removed. The fact was that the actor demanded that his fee be raised to $3 million. That wasn't an insignificant amount of money, and if Sheen's antics could be tolerated for $2 million, they could find a quieter actor for $3 million. Charlie Sheen's participation in the cult sitcom gave him a new wave of popularity and helped him find work. The actor appeared as himself in CSI Crime Scene Investigation and The Big Bang Theory. In 2010, he appeared in Family Guy, also as himself. The actor tried to bet on comedy and appeared in 3 parts of Scary Movie where his colleagues were Gianna Ballard and Pamela Anderson, and even appeared as President of the United States in the film Machete Kills by Robert Rodriguez.
I'm the President of the United fucking States, man.
It seemed that a career was reborn. Sheen even managed to get a $10 million fee for the serious anger management. Unfortunately, the sitcom did not become a hit and was canceled after 2 seasons. Other works of the actor were less impressive, and one got the impression that Charlie took everything he could get. In 2004, the world was not very pleased with the comedy that they found, which promptly failed at the box office. Along with Sheen, Owen Wilson, Morgan Freeman, Sarah Foster, and Vinnie Jones also risked their careers. Well, why Vinnie took the risk was obvious.
It's a really, bad idea.
In 2010, there was an attempt to play on the good old one. The sequel to Oliver Stone's previous hit, Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps, came out and not only managed to make some money, but even earned Michael Douglas a Golden Globe nomination. Otherwise, Charlie's filmography in those years consisted of cameos, films in which he was not even mentioned in the title, and outright failures. The actor did not forget about scandals. A fight with his last wife, Brooke Mueller, brought Sheen to court. According to the woman, during one of the arguments, Charlie put a knife to her throat and threatened to kill her. In 2010, Sheen was sentenced to 30 days of alcohol treatment and another month of probation. Since then, Charlie Sheen has been missing for good, but despite the fact that the actor has huge health problems,
recently confessed to having an HIV-positive diagnosis,
and the fact that he almost doesn't act anywhere, in public, Charlie behaves quite cheerfully. In 2018, the music video of the rapper Lil Pump for the track Drug Addicts with Charlie's participation was released. In early 2019, an extensive interview appeared in the pages of the American glossy magazine Maxim. That same year, the star launched his line of marijuana-infused vapes called Sheenius. Their bizarre names, Malibu Dream, Millie's Vanilla, Grand's Perfume, and Clown Mace. The liquids got thanks to the movies and shows in which Sheen appeared. According to the actor, he was actively involved in the development of the products, although he himself had not used drugs for about 10 years. Charlie Sheen's career seems to have come to an end, but we're still hoping to see the actor in other interesting projects. His attempt to ruin his career was successful. Jean-Claude Van Damme went down a similar path in his time, turning from an action movie star of the 90s into a bitter memory. His attempt to take his career into his own hands did not save him. But did he have a chance? Or was Van Damme's fall from Hollywood's Olympus a foregone conclusion? Click on the video that appears on your screen and watch the details of the rise and fall of the famous Belgian. But don't forget to like our video. That's it. Truth Chronicles is with you. Bye-bye.